Hi, I'm Cash, and welcome to Cash Talks Football, where I break down all the goals scored in the Premier League. And today we're doing Newcastle against Fulham, where I use my many years of coaching experience all over the world and try to give you some insight. Maybe you want to become a better coach, a better player, or just try to copy maybe what one of the Premier League guys do so you can incorporate it into your game. So right now we're looking at Fulham against Newcastle. I am not covering the red card at the start because it was just kind of one of those weird fouls, and I am still in YouTube jail. And the problem is, because they're wearing such a weird uniform, if I put those still images up, the algorithm will kill me and it'll nuke my channel because YouTube doesn't like me talking about stuff on about the Premier League. Right now we've picking up the little protagonist here with the ball in the middle. You can see they're not too bad off, but you can see this pocket is space here. And this is what this guy wants to drive into. If you can see a guy stood up like this, you just want to run into that space any which way you can with the ball. And he does. Let's move this on a little bit. Bosh. He gets his first little bit of luck. Guy's looking for a foul. Don't play the game, mate. Play the game. You'll be a better footballer if you try to play football instead of crying to your mum and dad, in this point it's the referee, about something bad that's happened. Play the game, you muppet. So as we move it on, you can see he's trying to exploit this space here. To be honest, there is one option. If you're seeing this, don't pass it into this guy's feet here. One of the most common problems people do, especially low-level players, is they've got space to run into and they don't run into it. The reason you want to run into this space is because you want other players to commit to you. And when they do is when you play the ball. Use the green in front of you. Don't sit there. A lot of people, you see this in the Premier League as well. They take all that time and space, they've got all that space in front of them, and with that time, they'll put their foot on the ball and they'll try to play a worldy David Beckham pass instead of just running into the space and making something happen. This guy does. He runs into the space. Oh, gets another little, nibble at his heels there. He's strong enough though, but he just keeps running. Respect this. Keeps going, and now he's got a little bit of skill, and now stuff's happening. He's in a situation where he can create something really, really easy now. If you look, this guy's here in no man's land. Do you see him? The player's behind him. He can only mark what's in front of him. He's not he really wants to be back here. He wants to drop off. Do you see where this line is? That's where he probably wants to be. So they can't pass that ball in behind him. I wish there was another shot where you can see that he's made this space, right? This guy here. Right, let's see if I can show you. He's made that space there. Do we see that? That extra space there, because he's not in line with his team, makes this pass really, really easy. Out it goes, Dosh, in behind him, and he gets his nice little finish. In it goes to the net box, 1-0. Let's check out the next goal. Yeah, I'm sorry for all the starts and the stops and more than normal, just because I keep getting hit by copyright strikes. And it's generally when I talk about VAR and the Super League. It's funny, it's only ever seems to be in those videos. Wonder why. Check out my VAR will make the Super League happen video for more reference. Well, as we move this forward, you can see that they've figured this out, how to beat the 10 men. One of the easiest way to beat 10 men is to run past them. Sounds silly. You can't pass through them because they're too tight and narrow. You have to sort of do this, I call it almost the Patrick Vieira run through, where you don't know how he's running through the players. He's got no real skill. It's just all strength and power and athleticism. And he's running through you with the ball somehow and it's stuck to his foot. And he's not Messi dribbled you or, something like that. He's just powering his way through. And that's kind of what they're doing here. Again, they're getting done. Look how far they are. Oh, look, he stood still. Look at this guy. He's just stood still. Oh, my God. He's just walking. So now the ball's getting played. You can see what's happening. You can see it's going to go, it's going in behind any second. There we go. And it's just a calamity of players all sort of jumping and screaming at each other. Everyone's on the floor diving because they found out they've been caught a little bit too far up. And this guy here, he's not close enough. He's nowhere near his guy. Actually, to be fair, I think this Newcastle guy's offside. I actually do. When I was watching it and I saw the line, yeah, they didn't go back for that because there's a penalty, which is kind of weird because he would have been offside before the penalty happens. But look, let's just watch as we move this forward. I'll show you. So as he goes, Bosh, he's taken out the player completely, knocked him down. Penalty, yeah, if he's not offside, but I think he is. The ref lets it play on. Everybody else is kind of stopped because they think it's a pen. It's not. There's something at the end of this as well. Watch this guy, right? When this guy ends up over here on the floor, he mullers this guy. Watch. Let's go through. Bosh, as it comes through, they're all asking for a penalty, asking his mum and dad. play on, because it's a goal. And that's an easier thing to do than give a penalty and all this other rubbish, which I completely agree with the referee. I'd rather just give the penalty. Sorry, the goal, not the penalty. But as this moves forward, I want you to see this. Bump. Now the ball's gone, he's in the back of the net. He gets mullered, actually studs down on his ankle right here and taken completely out. Bosh. Completely and utterly out after the play. That's a yellow card in my opinion. That's like excessive. There's no need. The ball's in the back of the net and you've still done him studs up in his legs. I mean, it is what it is. We'll get on to the last goal. So this is a bit of a bundle from a corner, and I want you to have a little look of what's going on. If you're ever in a team that does this, don't. Sounds silly, but don't. Look, everyone's got caught here. They've got loads of players that are just queuing up. There's no one's near at all. They're almost like they're not zonal marking, they're not man-to-man marking. Everything's been broken. Look, even this guy here, he's completely unmarked. So. And there's no pressure on the ball. This guy's got all the time in the world. This guy's got his bloody hand up asking for the ball, and no one has turned and looked to see if he's unmarked or not. No one's even bothered. It's just like, oh, no, mate, yeah, I know you want to score. I know your mate's got loads of time because we're not pressuring the ball, and you're asking for it on the back post. But there's no possible way in the Premier League that this guy here can have all that time and then give it to you with all that time, and that can't happen. Sits there, waits, he's still asking for it, there's still no pressure on the ball. He's telling this guy to go and mark someone or do something, but they're not trying to win the football. So this guy doesn't need to pass the ball, he doesn't need to do anything. So the reason you go towards the ball in this instance is because he has to touch the football, the Newcastle player. He has to keep possession, so he has to touch it. If he's touching it to keep the ball, he can't be passing it. Right? You're forcing him to do something. Right now, you're just giving him all the time in the world, and his mate still wants it. But don't worry, he finds him. Whoa, well, not him, the other guy. Bosh, in we go. Another goal, 3-0. That is awful. I know it's they're a man down. I know it's near the end of the game. I know they're 2-0 down. But you just got to do the simple things. Pressure the ball correctly and maybe try to mark one of the 15 people unmarked on the back post. Other than that, I'll see you next time on Cash Talks Football.